Alright guys, today's goal, the learner will, that's what the TLW stands for. The learner will master the understanding of how to graph quadratic functions in standard form. Okay, now, looking at these. These are in your book, but I would get in the habit of writing them down. So copy these down right now because that'll help you remember. When you take notes, it helps you remember how to do it. Okay? But there are some things we need to be able to look at. So, we're looking at quadratic functions. It's either a u up or a u down. Okay? If you look, the characteristics of graphs. The graph, if a is greater than 0, so ax squared. If a is bigger than 0, it opens up. If a is less than 0, it opens down. That also means something else if you look down. That also means if a is positive, it has a minimum. If a is negative, it has a maximum. So that answers two things for you there. Okay? If the absolute value of a is greater than 1, the graph is narrower. Wider if the absolute value of a is less than 1. Axis of symmetry. Remember, symmetry means it's an axis that divides the object in half. It's always equal to x equals negative b over 2a. And that is also the x coordinate of the vertex. And a y-intercept for any linear equation or quadratic equation is when x is equal to 0, find the y value. Okay? So, that being said, if you haven't gotten everything copied down yet, hit pause, copy it down. Okay. So, label the vertex and axis of symmetry and compare to y equals x squared. Okay. So, it says label the vertex and the axis of symmetry. Well, if you remember, we can get the axis of symmetry by saying x equals negative 0 divided by 2 times 1/4. Remember, x equals negative b divided by 2a. So you get negative 0 divided by 1/2, which is 0. So we know x is 0. Well, so axis of symmetry. X equals 0. Well, that's where x equals 0. It says the vertex, so I also know that's the x coordinate of the vertex, so plug it in to get the y coordinate. Y equals 1/4 0 squared plus 2, so you get y equals 2. So you had the point, the vertex is 0, 2. So now there's the vertex. So now you have to graph it still though. Well, a is 1/4. So a is positive, so I know it opens up. So that's good. But I would just pick a number to the right of the vertex and a number to the left of the axis of symmetry or the vertex. So I'm going to use when x is equal to 2, plug it in. Two squared is 4 times 1/4 is 1, plus 2, 3. So you go 2, 3. Then I do it for negative 2. You get the same thing. So I graph negative 2, 3. So it looks like that. Now it says compare to the graph. So what's the absolute value of 1/4? 1/4. That means it is wider. So it is wider than the Parent function. Okay? So go ahead and press pause. You guys try to graph the second one. Alright, so hopefully you did. Try to go through and do this, so let's take a look. I would have started by saying x equals -6 divided by 2 times 2. So you get -6/4, which is -3/4. So x equals -3/4. Okay? Nope, that's not right. 6/4 isn't 3/4. Let's erase that. 6/4, that would be -3/2. So, -1.5 is our axis of symmetry. And then to get the other piece of the vertex, remember you plug that into the equation. So y equals 2 times -3/2 squared plus 6 times -3/2 plus 3. Okay, so that would be 9/4 times 2, 9/2. So you get, so just go ahead and calculate that. So you get 9 halves plus 6 times -3 halves is -9 plus 3 is -6, and that equals -3/2. So graph this. So we graph -3/2, -3/2. So it's right about there. Then just pick some numbers and that's going to work. So I'd plug in 0 to the right. Give me one to the right, one to the left. So plug in 0 and you get 3. So it's going to open up. So that's good, and they have minimums, because again, A is positive. And then I would pick -3, plug that in, you get 3 squared is 9 times 2 is 18. Plus 6 times -3 is -18, plus, so you get 3. And then compare it. So you do the absolute value of A. What's the absolute value of 2? Positive 2. So that's bigger than 1. So this means it is narrow than the parent function. Okay? So hopefully we're catching on here, guys, and you're remembering doing this in previous years. So moving on. Alright. This is your homework now. Tell whether the function has a minimum or maximum value, and then find it. So not only tell me if it has a max or min, but tell me what the max or min value is. Okay? And then read through that problem. Try to bring it in for help. Okay? Or try to bring it in completed. If you need maybe an example, look through your book, look through some research, but remember it says write a quadratic in standard form. What's the standard form of a quadratic function? Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. See you in class tomorrow with this done and the notes taken, guys.